Okay guys, welcome to the progressive butterfly series that we have working for you guys. Just like some of the other ones, I'll go over the key points here. It's really important that we understand the posture itself. If we don't know what a butterfly guard is supposed to look like, we're not going to make it effective for sure. So we need to know where our feet are, where our hands are, where our head is, where our hips are. So we're going to be going over that. So make sure you understand the posture. Once you get the posture, next thing that I would like to see you guys working on is the transitions. How to get in to butterfly guard and how to move from butterfly guard to somewhere else. This is really important. This is essentially your footwork, right? So you don't see too many fighters doing well in MMA or Muay Thai or anywhere else that don't have good footwork. Guys that don't have good footwork are sitting ducks. So we need to be able to transition in and out. Maybe you're going to use butterfly guard as a way to keep it dynamic and move it around. It's great for no-gi and it's great for gi. Maybe it's going to be a guard that you just utilize to switch to another guard. So it's a nice effective guard to keep the ball rolling. Next thing that we're going to be looking at is stand up. And I know for a lot of people, standing up is not a really thing that you guys are a big fan of. Jiu-jitsu guys love to be on the ground because it doesn't, it hurts, but in a different way. It doesn't hurt like getting thrown onto your back. But keep in mind, depending on who I'm with, I will try to stand up a fair amount. And it's not because I want to stand up and do judo. It's because I want to stand up and keep them on the ground. I'm going to try and take their back. I'm going to try and pass the guard. So I don't want to be underneath them. If it's a big guy, I'd rather try, if I can, stand up because I don't want to risk the opportunity that he might pass my guard and get me inside mount and crush me. So I got a big guy, Corey. He's like 290 pounds. I'm 210. That's a fair amount of a difference for me. I don't want to be underneath him in the side mount because it's just not pleasant, or mount. So I'd rather work to stand up and be very selective with the takedowns I'm going to do and stand up, not to let him get on top of me. So usually if I have an opportunity to stand up with Corey, I'll take it. But that being said, a lot of the moves that we're going to see today that I use a lot on the variety of size types. So standing up is important, not just for self-defense, but to start the ball rolling on the big guys, whether to take their back, to pass their guard, or just the process of standing up and then shooting. Try not to let them stand up though. Next thing that we're looking for is sweeping. So if I can't stand up because they're doing a good job stopping me from standing up, that likely means there's some pressure coming in on top of me. And if there's pressure coming in on top of me, butterfly guard's made for that. So it's great for redirecting that energy. We're going to use our feet and our shins and our arms to just pass and move them around. So butterfly guard, it's great for redirecting people's weight. If you're trying to stand up and they're collapsing on top of you, it's very easy to start getting these sweeps. So sweeping, great. You want to improve that position if you can't stand up. Well, you can't stand up. Maybe you're having a hard time sweeping. Back take is the next thing we're looking for. So if we can't get on top, let's improve our position. Maybe I can spin him, get his back. So I might be still underneath him or beside him, but at least I'm in a better position. I'm behind him. Harder for him for self-defense to do damage to me, and for sport, obviously you got your points and you got a lot more things you can do to him than he can do to you. Submissions is the last thing that we're going to show, and it's not because it's the least important, but ideally in a self-defense thing, we want to get away clean. If there is an opportunity for submission, of course you're going to take it, but we want to get safe. So standing up, getting away is safe. Getting on top is pretty safe. Getting behind is pretty safe. Okay, well, we can't do those things. Maybe the submission is the only thing we have left. Or maybe for self-defense situation, I don't want to get away because the guy's in my house and my family's there. So I need to look at submissions that will end the fight right now. Of course, for tournaments, we want the finish. The submissions work great. I'm going to show a few different ones. But keep in mind, this is very much... it's like sparring or kickboxing. It's all combinations. If I want to try and hit you with a kick, it's best to start setting it up with footwork or with some punches. So submissions on its own can be very challenging. Sweeps on its own are challenging. Back takes on its own is challenging. Standing up on its own is challenging. But if you're going to start finding, hey, I like this move for standing up. I like this move for sweeping. I like this move for back taking. I like these couple moves for submissions. You start finding ways to piece these together. You're basically building an obstacle course that you're going to run over and over and over and over again. But your opponent's only going to have a chance to go through it once, right? And they usually don't make it to the end. So try to find one or two moves in each of these things, these categories that you like, and find ways to transition and piece them all together. You're going to find a pretty unstoppable game. So enjoy. Okay guys, so before we can get started with the butterfly guard, we have to know on what is the butterfly guard. So I have Ozzy with me here. When I use my butterfly guard, I want my feet hooked inside his legs, and I want to make sure there's some tension. So I don't want my feet pointed this way. I want to pull my toes out so I have my hooks here. Now, when I have my hooks, I want some pressure going outwards. I don't want to be too lazy because his job is to try and either get my feet together or keep them on the floor. So if he can do that, that's going to be the problem, right? So I need some tension here. If my butt's too close, I'm going to get squished and dumped back. I don't want to be on my back. I want to be sitting up. So I want a little bit of space. Hands ideally are underneath. And if I can bear hug, great. If I can't, that's fine as long as I have these underhooks. And my head, my forehead right here, is going to be underneath his neck in the pocket. It might be in the center, but it's likely going to be onto his side. So this is the position I'm looking for. I should be kind of round, and it should be almost like a ball. Should be fairly easy for me to roll around. Some people will play it off to the side, and that's a really, really good idea. It's like having your guard, getting your hip out, you're a lot more offensive, but you are a little bit more committed to one side. Some people really like to sweep this way, so they like to play to this side of it. So, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So we need tension, we need proper spacing with our hips, okay, so that we can keep our head in front of our hips, not head over my hips, okay? I would like to have underhooks if I can, possibly an overhook, but underhooks will be much better. And head, I want my head underneath his head. So anywhere in here is going to be good, right? That's the first part.